What's up, everybody on the empowerment page? This is Chu, and then we have Angela and Tang, also known as Lovely. So this is gonna be like a raw hangout where nothing's scripted. It's just actually us trying to get to know each other for the first time, really, too, right? We've
Yes.
we've crossed
Mm-hmm.
paths in the past before, but we never really got a chance to sit down and just be like, "Hey, what's your story? What's your deal?" It's just been a quick like brief meeting real quick, right? Do you guys agree? That's been my
Ye-
experience with the both of you.
Yes.
Okay. So I think it'll be fitting for us to just kind of introduce ourselves to the members on both of our pages. And I know that you guys have been very active on your page. And so a lot of folks on your page probably know what you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's time for the folks on my page to know what you guys do and who you guys are. So let me just I think we should just kind of go around and just start off with when did you guys, um, start your journey? So let's start there. So who wants to go first?
You can go first here.
Okay. So I started when I was about 18. So that's 20 years ago. And I've always known and felt that I was a little bit different from a lot of folks. But as a kid, I didn't have any support. I didn't really understand what was going on. I always felt like when there's a spirit or something that's not right in the room with me, I would be very scared, but nobody um, would support me and say, hey, this is what's really happening. So kind of let it go for a long time. And then when I was about 18, I started to really question what was going on with me. And then I got baptized right around the same time too. And that's when all the senses started to get heightened. So then from there, I didn't really have a mentor either. My mentor has always been my connection to God, and that's my faith. I believe in the Trinity. I was baptized as a Christian, and so I believe in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. And so I've always been in communication with them, still to this very day. I pray just about every night, and I'd say I might miss a night here and there, but not intentionally. It's because I'm probably up too late and then I just get so tired. I start to pray and then I fall asleep. I feel guilty every time that happens, but I still keep my connection with them very strong. And when I meditate, I'm thinking about them at the same time. And so they've been my mentor. And I've worked with two guides. Believe it or not, one of their names is Kashiana, and then the other one is a male, and he's a white guy, and he just goes by Dave. And I don't really work with them closely anymore, but they're still around. It's more like they've stepped when I first met them, and I only met them like maybe almost 10 years ago, and it was during this guided meditation that I met them too. And so when I met them, they were very close to me. They Every time I needed help, if I wasn't sure, I would call them in right away. But now it's to a point where they've stepped back and they just let me do me. And if I need their help, they'll step in and help. But that's been very helpful for me. So again, I've been doing this for 20 years now, and I feel like I'm at a spot where I want to do less reading, but more mentoring and more teaching people how to tap into their gifts. And that's my story. I think that was like what, 5 minutes? Yeah. So
Good.
yeah, good to meet all of you guys on the Hmong Intuition reading page. Did I say it right? Hmong Intuitive
Interviewing. Yeah, yeah. Either
Intuitive.
way, it's fine.
It's right there on my Facebook. I have it open. I should just read it. My bad. So that's my story. Go ahead.
I, I guess so. Yeah, so my story is I always knew there was something different about me. Um, at that time, I never knew, I mean, I was able to feel energy and I never knew what that was, never understood it. I grew up in a shaman family, and there was a lot of like scarcity, fear, a lot of talk about evil spirits, demons, and stuff like that. So that pretty much closed down my abilities completely. And I lived in scarcity mode for like at least the first 10 years, and then that the feeling of feeling energy and all that still stayed with me, but I didn't introduce myself in my group, but more saying that when I got married young, I was going through a lot of like midlife crisis in my marriage, and I was having a lot of depression and stuff like that. So I got married to my husband, and their family is shaman. Now we're Christian, but that's another story. But when we were shaman, I don't know. When you're shaman, you don't refer to God as God. You refer God to as, what do you call it? I guess I have to say Hmong. So, when I was going through all that issues, I completely went into depression mode, and I completely wanted to commit suicide. And on 2 different occasions, and back to back, 2 years back to back, an angel visited me in my dream. It was very vivid. I can still completely feel them and completely see what they look like, but and their energy. But they came into my dreams and helped me to cope with what I was going through. And they sent me energy healing right into my heart chakra. And that energy stayed with me for 2 weeks straight, nonstop. It was a very, very beautiful energy. And something that you can say that I've never experienced, or probably won't experience in this human plane, or this earth. I would probably say maybe going up into the higher energies, you'll probably feel it, experience it. But that led me to really do my search, but I was getting dead ends because I didn't know where to go, what to do, who to consult with. I knew nothing about psychic, nothing about energy during that time. So it took me, let's see, another 5-6 years down the line before our family went through something very traumatic, and then we converted over to being Christians, and that's when I found and got into God. Really asking, what's my faith? Where am I? Because I'm in the middle here. I'm, like you can say, other people are being neutral. Mm-hmm. So I had no more faith in the shaman side anymore. I had no faith in the Christian side because I knew nothing about being Christian. And that's where I found, actually it was, I'm not sure if you guys heard of Sylvia Brown. This is where she helped open the world for me, open about energy, about psychic, about all of that stuff. And this is where I started to really understand that, and to really kind of connect the dots that, oh, okay, that was what I was feeling, that was what I was going through, and that's where it took me to where I found my energy teachers teaching me Reiki. So that's like 10 years ago. And that's where it brought up into me finding my psychic mentor teachers and opening up into the whole world of, what do you call it, the metaphysical, paranormal world. So um, I started doing this work. Let's see. I was in my closet for up until 2013 is when I started to really started coming out slowly, because I felt alone. I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to or to be with, to understand where I'm coming from. And most of the people that that talk about or even know about this stuff, they're not expressing or they're not connecting. And that time the internet was not the whole thing. So I started to build that, and then I was doing like practice readings and practice stuff, doing energy healings and stuff like that. And then, let's see, I started getting more and more serious this last couple years, where I started to really accept that, accept the fact that that it's changing, and more people need people like us. More people need to understand what we all understand, and need to learn and help them to be able to cope with, living on this plane. So I guess that's about it. Anything else I need to add? You think? You guys think?
I have some follow-up questions I would like to ask you later, but we'll let Tang go next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's roll back in time. For me, it started like a long time ago when I was a kid, and I was sexually abused as a child. And then when I was in my teens, I had to face the reality that, I had to deal with these emotions instead of hide all the shame that I was feeling and insecurity, everything, every emotion from it. So I had a self-talk with myself, and to be honest, that I really did need help, and that I didn't know who to go to or what kind of help I was looking for. Just that I needed help. And then like 3 years later, I found my teacher who did energy work on me, and that really helped release a lot of my feelings and just like emotions, and it was just like a huge energy release from that. And I had before that, I probably consciously knew and felt what energy was, but I didn't know that it was called energy until that session. And then it just kind of opened the door for everything to, happen for me. So then I just started pursuing energy healing after that. And then I just knew after that session, like something deep inside of me changed, and I couldn't explain it or understand it, but I just knew that it helped me a lot. So I just knew from then on that that was my purpose. Like I was meant to do energy healing. That's my calling. So after that, then I've just pursued all types of healings and stuff. And I've been doing it off and on for a couple of years, but now I'm just getting more serious about it and bringing it into the Hmong community, because I've done it on like a lot of other groups, but I feel like my target now is, trying to help wake up the Hmong community and bringing consciousness into our community. So,
All right, so I want to ask Tang real quick.
yes.
You want to bring your services to the Hmong community now. How well has the community accepted you and what you're doing?
Well, this is just the beginning of it. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just in the now. So it's all new experience.
Well,
So,
it's to me it's pretty clear that our generation is more open-minded and more accepting of this. I mean, the evidence is clearly on your page, right? You got all these people responding and are very active and interactive with each other. So I think that's evidence that the community is opening up to you. But
Yes.
I wonder, like the elders, like how they would receive this, because I'll tell you this: when I first started, um, I had a lot of backlash from the elders, even within my clan, right? And many of them thought that I was nothing but a scam artist. I'm just making shit up. You know, they were saying stuff behind my back. But the funny thing is, I'll never forget this uncle. I won't say his name, but because I don't want to embarrass his family. But he he was like the one of my biggest opponents as far as like supporting me at what I do. He would tell other people, "Hey, stop listening to True. He's just trying to brainwash you guys, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. What he's doing, we don't do as Hmong people, so don't listen to him." But then he would pull me to the side and ask me for a reading, and I would give him a reading. And at first, because for me, I was young, and so I was looking for approval, right? And so even though in my heart I was hurt that how would my why would my uncle do this to me? But then when he would pull me to the side and ask me for a reading, like it was my opportunity to feel accepted, and I got his approval, and so I gave him readings, and then um, after that, he just didn't really like he didn't want to do this in public in front of people. So if we were at somebody's house, he would pull me to the side and just ask me questions and ask me for a reading. But I guess some people can look at that as true. He's trying to test you. That's all. He doesn't approve you. But at that time for me, I was just like, he's giving me attention, and that's all I need. Because he was a shaman, you know what I mean? So they law, and so I guess I kind of put him on a pedestal to say, okay, you are the example, But then I realized, the elders, just not him, but other elders of his generation, they would criticize me because of my age, and that was very painful, and very lonely for me at that time. And it
Mm.
got to a point where I just really didn't care about the elders for a long time. It's like, I can't wait until your generation's done. That was kind of my attitude. So
Or wake up.
yeah, I mean, I sometimes I still feel that way about certain things in our culture, in our community, that I can't wait for your generation to be done with, and so we can kind of change things a little bit. But I know that if some of you Christians out there hearing me say this, you guys will say, "True, you need Jesus," and I would say to you, yes. I need Jesus. I have Jesus in my heart, but I could, use him a lot more too. So, yeah, that's kind of my experience with the Hmong community, especially the elders. I don't know if you guys have similar experiences or not.
I do, yeah. With not many people that I know of know what I do, but my in-laws, because they're in my home, living with us. Actually, we live with them technically, um, but they would not to backslash or talk shit about Christian, but a lot of Christians, they teach a lot about demons, this, demon, that,
Hmm.
what do they call it? Ex-
Exorcism.
yes, there you go. Exorcism,
Hmm.
this, exorcism, that. And what I do, when they kind of knew that I was having clients come in and doing all this stuff, they would think that, something's up, I'm full of this, I'm full of that. And um, my in-laws, they're like in their late 70s and 80s. So their mindset is totally off.
Hmm.
But with the teachings of Christianity, that's also kind of like a brainwash them in a way, where they would criticize me in that way. And for me, I don't teach them or I don't say anything to them. I don't argue with them. I just do my thing. And the reason is because I will waste my time.
Yeah.
But my example of doing my thing and knowing that in the long run, I'm going to raise their energy, I'm going to raise their vibration, I'm going to raise them to meet me at my level. And before my father-in-law passed, this past year, it's almost like 1 year, he told me and my husband and my husband's sisters, saying that, I had a really good dream that Ya was doing this work and Ya received some stuff, and it was really really good. So I think what Ya is doing is pretty powerful and pretty good. So yeah, it's okay for Ya to do that. And that was something that was kind of like, oh, okay, well, good. So it kind of ended in a good note with that. So they didn't have any issues with that anymore. But before, yeah, they were like, no, we're Christian, we're this and we're that. You can't do that, you know. So yeah, that's the mindset of them.
Okay. What about you, Tang? Did you experience this from elders as well, Tang?
I have not had any yet, not yet, not yet. So we'll see as everything unfolds, you know.
Yeah, I think experiencing
I
this
don't
is
have any experience, you know, with older, except for my mom. I worked with my mom, but you know, she's very understanding, so that's different.
yeah.
But I have not had. What? Say that again? Two? Say that again?
Oh no, I think
I didn't hear you too.
oh okay. I was just gonna say that I think going through backlash from the elders and from your community,
I didn't.
it's a blessing in disguise, is my opinion.
True.
Yeah,
Yes.
because you know it also shows you your strength and your courage to say, you know what, I don't care what people think. You know, I usually tell people this too is, you know, try to develop this attitude about. And I know your baby's there, Angela. So I don't know. Can your baby hear me?
No, she's asleep, so it's
Oh,
fine. I have my headset on her, so
oh,
she
okay.
doesn't hear you guys.
Yeah. So my attitude is this, like, um, IDGAF, right? I don't give a fuck, right? That's been my attitude towards like people who criticize what I do or don't believe what I do. You know, they can say all they want because, like, as you guys can attest to this, when you're in there working with clients or seekers, that experience is real. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that experience is real, and the emotions, the energy, there's almost no words to describe it unless you're experiencing it, right? So,
Yes.
when
Yeah.
people tell me, the elders tell me, like, what you're doing is wrong. You're supposed to be a shaman, and I don't have time. Like Angela, like how you said earlier, I don't have time for that stuff. I'd rather put my time and
Mm-hmm.
energy somewhere else. And
Mm-hmm.
so it could be lonely. It could be a lonely journey at the beginning, but things are changing. Things are evolving. Look at how we're connecting now. Just think about 5 years ago.
Yes.
This would not be happening,
Yes.
right? So I really
Yeah.
believe that consciousness in 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 uh, in humans are changing and evolving. So along with technology too, of course. So
Yeah.
I'm very thankful to be like finding more and more people who are awakened and currently practicing and healing people. So that's like, again, 5 to 10 years ago, it was almost impossible to find people.
No, it was hard. It was so hard. The only people that I knew that knew what I knew or was like-minded like me were a
Yeah.
lot of Mika.
Same here.
with a lot of Nika, and I couldn't find any Hmong or any Asian to relate to me. Every time I went to these type of events, like meditations or psychic events,
Yeah.
so it's like, wow, where are my people, you know? Where are they, you know? And
Same here.
I felt kind of regretful that I didn't know that you had a group in 2012 too,
Mm-hmm.
because that was when I started joining these spiritual groups on Facebook. So,
No, well,
yeah.
yeah, so I started this group with that purpose, you know, with the intentions of I know that there are a lot of gifted Hmong people out there, spiritually gifted. It's just how do I bring them together to a safe place so that we can talk about stuff and support each other and teach each other and share with each other to grow, and then also those that are curious can grow with us, you know, and I think you know my group I've only had to probably kick out like maybe 5 people within the last 5 years, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's okay. So, and you know, the funny thing is, there's a lot of I call them sleeping giants in our group, which are the folks that are very shy, but they're always reading our comments and our interactions, and they're just too shy to come out, you know. But when sometimes they'll contact me via Facebook, you know, message, and you know, I'm always wondering, and I've asked them too, why don't you just share your story? But I think for some of those, it'll take some time, you know.
Yeah.
It will. It will. Since,
You're-
yeah, when they're in your group and you're sharing your knowledge and all that stuff, it will lift them. Their energy will come. It will meet yours.
Yeah, and so even and I'm aware that sometimes I might look threatening. You know, if people saw me on the street, sometimes they might think, you know, this guy probably has a long rap sheet of criminal activities, whatever, and I don't. Okay, but you know that's why I'm glad to have found you guys, both of you. I said you guys, you gals, because you know you guys look less threatening than I do. so if anybody wants to like learn to open up and develop their gifts, you know, there's more than just one teacher. You know, there's just more than one person who can help, and that's the whole purpose of this whole hangout. Is I want people in my group to say, hey, you know, Chu looks scary, Angela and Tang don't, so I'll go to them for help, and I am okay with that. You know, I don't care who's the teacher. Just find a teacher so that they can help you evolve spiritually. You know, so that's my
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Angela, I do want to ask you. You mentioned earlier about you had 2 incidents where you uh you attempted suicide,
Yes.
right? So, and you said you had angels come to you to help you understand the situation, help divert you from following
From
through.
committing,
Yeah,
from committing suicide,
yeah,
from following through with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever seek any professional, you know, I say professional, I put quotations, like, you know, a mental health counselor? Were you like in therapy at all?
I was too young.
Oh,
I was only like 16, 17 at that time.
oh,
And
can I ask you how young were you when you got married?
yes, yeah, I'm okay with it. I got married when I was 14.
Oh, okay.
So now it's been 20 years.
Mm,
But I was very young, and the awareness of suicidal depression, marriage issues, especially in the Hmong community, was not there. Support was only for my parents.
mm-hmm.
Going to school and having them say that to school, or having the support at school, yeah, I had that option. But being raised in our culture, that was something that I never felt comfortable with, or never felt that was something that I could seek. Because我哋被蒙喺同個區域點點講咧，要冤差啊，要冤差 because you're still legally under your parents. So 要住三係好係咯，住三我個多咗嘛。So that's the hard part. Yeah.
Yeah, some people they have a spiritual awakening when they experience like a life-changing event. In your situation, it had to do with suicide.
Hmm.
There's other people who like they'll have a head injury or head trauma where they're in a car accident. They experience like near
Near
death.
life, near life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then that wakes them up too.
Hmm.
So everybody's a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of want to. I'm sure you guys understand this. Those of you that are watching, but Angela's story, I want you guys to take that as inspiration, and I don't want you guys to go try to commit suicide just to open up. Okay, that's because
No.
because that's gonna be very dangerous, and
Yeah.
Angela was very fortunate to have seen the angels to help her stop from doing it,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
it might not happen
Yeah.
to you. Maybe I don't want you to wait for that angel and then it never comes, and then now we got bigger issues. So
Yeah. That's what.
please,
Like I say to my kids, don't try this at home.
yeah,
No.
yeah, good, good, good. And what about you, Tank? When you mentioned something about your childhood, you and you had it's funny this delay, like she's laughing, and I think,
Yeah.
and I'm like, is she laughing at what is she laughing about? But I forgot that there's a
Or
delay. Um,
sexual abuse.
yeah, yeah. So you went through that. Do you think that had anything to do with your like your
Oh,
spiritual awareness? Oh, there's this delay.
Tang, you're glitchy, Tang.
Yeah. Do you want to hang up and call back?
yes, definitely.
She
Definitely.
said definitely.
It served a purpose for me, even though I cannot understand it. I was, sorry. Still hear me?
We can still hear you,
Or is
but you're
it
you're very
frozen?
delayed.
You guys are frozen too.
Okay.
Hello?
Hang up and call back.
Anything?
No, you're
Hello?
froze.
Hello?
You froze. Hang up and call us back.
Oh, darn.
Let me. I'm gonna hang up on all of us, and we'll try again. Okay.
All right.
All right.
How is it, Tang?
How's that? Better? Am I better?
A
Can
little
you
bit.
guys hear me? Or is it still glitchy?
It's still
Very
glitchy.
robotic.
Yeah. Can we move?
No?
Can we try the Google Hangout? Do you remember how to do that?
What's going on? Come on, angels.
Uh, let me try to do the Google Hangout thing.
Yes, we can do Google Hangout.
Okay. All right.
Darn, okay.
don't see her yet.
Okay.
That's weird. That's weird how Facebook was working just fine and then it just kind of did that to us.
Yeah, with my experience, it does that once in a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So did Tang add us or did you do it, Angela?
No, I just went back to the our last one we had
Oh, okay.
and just connect. So we'll see if she's adding us or is she coming on.
Yeah, okay. So how old is your baby again?
She's 2.5 months.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's calling us.
Oh, all right.
Is it in another
I wonder if
group?
I wonder if she did that for another room.
Hmm.
Yeah, we were just kind of getting into the groove of things, right?
Yep. Yeah.
I have so many things open there. I wonder if people are watching and they're just like, well, when they watch to this part, I'm gonna try to put a timestamp to say at this part you can skip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Skip to whatever. All right.
Yeah.
But this is pretty cool. I'm glad that we got to figure out the recording piece because the other day I was just not happy at how things turned out.
Hmm.
But it is what it
So
is.
should we try? Are you able to go see if she's at a different area or a different?
Let me see what she's saying on Facebook here.
She's saying that she's calling us, and are we receiving it?
Oh yeah, we're not getting it though. I'll
Mm-hmm.
let her know that we went back to the other room that we had the other day.
Okay.
Hi.
Oh, this one's a new one.
Oh, okay.
Just us three. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll probably have to hang up then.
Yeah, let's try that and then she can do it again.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Accept.
You guys froze on my end too.
Oh, okay.
Well, and it was lagging also.
Yeah.
It
Might
was
just be Facebook.
yeah, it was funny. Your delay was it kind of matched up and answered some of my questions in a funny way. All right, so it's still recording. So let me just kind of see if I can remember what I asked you. Oh, I asked you about the your childhood abuse and
Yeah,
I asked you like, did you think that had anything to do with your spiritual awakening? That was the
yes,
question.
definitely. It definitely does. Looking back on it now and reflecting, of the events that unfolded, it was what I needed to experience and to know. Um, and it was proof. It was proof for me to really understand energy healing. And that's what I feel like the purpose of that, sexual abuse happened was because of that, because I needed some kind of solid proof to understand energy healing. So, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well,
So, yeah, it's definitely related.
yeah, I mean, it's, I guess it's kind of a, I'm trying to, like in your situation when it comes to like sexual abuse, uh, it's hard for me to say that it was a blessing in disguise because I don't see how that experiencing something that horrific can be a blessing at all. Like it's hard for me to understand that. Maybe
Yeah,
one day I will,
it's
but
hard to see it that way, but um, if you really look at it from that perspective and the positive aspects that came out of that abuse was it really led me on this path of healing.
yeah, yeah, okay,
Because
yeah,
without not be where I'm at. So in a way, it is really a blessing in disguise.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the honest truth.
yeah. Well, you have a very big heart for saying that,
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, that's all I can say at this point. But okay, so this whole like Facebook Hangout thing, it was good because like I learned a lot from you guys. Again, this is like the first time we actually sat down to and like talk like this to say, here's what I do, here's been my experience, and so I think I've learned a lot about both of you, and I think the folks in my group will appreciate it and know to come to you guys for things. And of course, you guys are members in my group, and I'm a member in your group too. So it's just us getting together, sharing information, and sharing with our members. And your group is no better than mine, vice versa. It's all, I think we all have the same intentions, which is to heal people anyway. So it doesn't even
Mm-hmm.
matter. But I do want to say this though to both of you. I admire your strength and the way you guys are so interactive in your group because I don't know how I can handle as much readings as you guys have been doing on there. That is a lot of work, man.
Yes, it takes lots of energy. It does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of energy, a lot of grounding, but once once you're used to that and once your energy is up at that level,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, right now I'd like to. I'm pulling something up on the screen here, and I'll try to move it out of the way to another screen. Okay, here it is. These are some of the questions that some members on my page wanted to ask, or maybe wanted us to address. Um, so the first one is, what are your methods of shielding and grounding?
You want to go first, Angela, or you want me to go?
Oh, yeah, I can go first. It's fine.
Okay.
My method is I'm very, um, you could say, hardcore on having my spirit guides and my angels really give me that type of shielding and protection. And then I also do my own type of meditation or mini visualization of energy protection before I do any type of readings, before I do any type of healings. Um, and grounding, there's many types. I've shared one mini meditation in my group where you can go on there and also um, listen to that and also do my meditation grounding there too. So yeah, that's what I do. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I got that from the biggest thing is
For
like
me,
grounding. I mean, not grounding, but meditation.
Mhm.
Hmm. Go ahead, Tang.
What happened to you, Jane?
Breaking up. I didn't understand a word you guys said. But okay, so for me, I honestly I do not do any shielding at all because I feel maybe because I'm just able to ground myself, and maybe I'm like really good at grounding myself, and I know how to regulate my energy. So maybe it's just because, and I'm at like a higher vibration. So unless I feel like um, like I'm threatened by somebody's energy and somebody's like sending me like negative energy or something, then I will intentionally put a shield around myself. But other than that, I do not shield myself. That's the truth.
Mm. Okay, so for me, I I shield and ground myself through prayer. So every time I'm gonna do a reading or go speak at an event that has to do with spirituality, I usually pray before I get there. And then when I'm there, if the energy in the room is like very negative, or I sense that people have bad intentions here, not all, but there's one or two that might have bad intentions, and again I resort back to prayer. And then when I'm done with these sessions or done with these talks, and I get very drained, then I also do prayer, and that is just me praying very very hard to say, please heal me, please protect me, just things like that. And so my method is prayer. Okay.
So meaning like when you're done with a session or done with like a speaking event, you pray for like having unattached stuff.
Yeah.
To unattach from you.
Yeah. So I commonly say this. I say, Heavenly Father, please do not let anything follow me home. I'll say it literally like that. Like my conversations with God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit is like it's very informal, and I talk to them like how I would be talking to you guys right now. I would just say, hey, I don't feel right, something's following me or whatever. Please do not let that come in my house. I mean, even there are nights when I would go out late at night and I come home. Before I step into my door, I would speak to these whatever is out there, say, you can't come in here, you guys need to stay out there, and then I'll come in really quick and lock the door. I mean, yeah, I'm 38, but I'm still scared like that. Okay, so I pray like that. That's my method of shielding and grounding. So the next question here is, I guess it's like a four-part question. It says, what are good methods on opening your third eye? We'll start with that one first.
Tang, you want to go?
Meditation and quieting the mind.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys?
Me too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and I want to say this too. Don't expect results the very first time you do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
Takes practice.
Yeah, a lot of people give up easily because they are so black and white in their thinking that if it doesn't work the moment they try it, then it's complete bullshit. Which I think it's very sad, but that's what happens a lot, and people give up so quick. Just remember our journeys. I want you guys to remember this. My journey is different from Angela, from Tang's, vice versa. Okay, we all got where we are because we were consistent with meditation, prayer, studying, believing in ourselves. So it took years to be where we are today. And if you're just starting, hopefully it will not take you that long, but it may. And the most important thing is do not give up. Okay.
Yes.
The next one is, how do you interpret your guide's messages?
I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
For me, sometimes they're simple, but those symbols are like kind of less. I literally get like actual messages. For example, if I am needed to know about something, they'll show me the actual picture,
Hmm.
or they'll send me the actual words. That's how they come through to me. Some people, once in a while, I know that I've heard some other people, they might have symbols that come through, and I do get symbols, but those are like not so much.
Hmm.
That's me.
Yeah, same here too. I get symbols also, and sometimes I hear words and things. You know,
Yeah.
like it'll just come as words, and I'll have visions. I'm a very visual person, so that's why I do like photo readings, because I see things visually, and that's like, one of my strong suit is just seeing. So I see like symbols, and like sometimes I'll see like a brief, um, like kind of like a movie that kind of plays, and then it takes a while for it to interpret in my mind and then out. So just like when I did my live reading, I had to take a pause because I was still getting messages from them, and then I had to interpret in my mind and then out with my words. So
I agree with both of them. Um, you guys said it very well. So I have nothing to add to that because that's exactly how it is for me as well. The third question is, how do you protect yourself?
Is that the same thing as the other question, or is it a different question?
Yeah, that's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of like the first one. How do you shield or ground yourself, or what are your methods? So, I mean, for me, I guess quickly for me, how do I protect myself is just through prayers. I do that every now and then. Do you guys see this little string right here? This was given to me by another gifted elder, and he gave that to me um, because he gave me a reading. I was in a very dark time, and he was able to help me. And so for me, I know like for shamans, they have uh, things like this as well, right? But everybody's a little bit different. Okay, for me, I always rely on prayer, and when I have these things, do not think that I'm betraying my faith. It's not that at all. Like I accept all sorts of protection. Okay, I'm not gonna be picky. If you have intentions of helping protect me, hey man, I'm gonna take it. You know what I mean? So for me, it's prayer.
For me, is it's what I said a little bit earlier,
you're
and
breaking
also
up
when
too.
I'm
I
in
can't.
I need quick protection, like instantly. It's all intention.
Hmm. Intention.
For me too. Grounding and intention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will do one last question here. There's a few more, but I think we'll call it a night here. But let's see. I'm gonna pick one that's pretty interesting here. Let's see. Oh, okay. Here's one. Uh, do you use the life force energy in your healings?
Yes, of course.
Yes, that's pretty much channeled
We are
through.
just a channel, and we are using the universal energy.
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever. I like how you guys use the word channel because that's what you know we are. We are a channel. We're a tool. I often remind people, and I have to remind myself every now and then too, is I'm just a tool. I really don't possess any special powers. It's just
Yes.
I've opened myself up to my faith to say, hey, I know that I'm here to. Oh, somebody went out.
Is it me?
Yeah, your camera went out.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You're breaking up
Okay.
too.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So let's see if this is better. So I was saying that we're just a tool that we've decided to open up to our higher power, our higher source, whatever you want to call it, our creator, to use us to help people. And some people might say, if your God or your source is so powerful, why would they need to use you? The best way I can explain that is because uh, my God is very creative in how he wants to use me to get a message to you. Because I feel like maybe my God has already tried to reach out to you many, many times, and and you just didn't understand or get the message. So he will send people your way, whether it's me, somebody else. And when I say my God, please do not take it as if I'm I'm trying to impose anything on you guys. Okay, it's just, again, it's my faith. All right, so yeah, we're just tools. So as far as like life energy, I agree with both of you. You guys use the word the universe. To me, it could be the universe, it could be angels, it could be whatever. It's life energy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And plus, you know, this has always been happening for as long as life has been on earth. And Jesus was not even the only one that was the one expressing or telling about this or teaching about this. So this is not new to anybody.
hmm
So we are just all remembering what was or has always been with us that we have forgotten when we came here on earth. So that's pretty much it.
Yep. Tang, do you have anything to add? Oh, I don't know if Tang
Tang.
is lagging or
Can
not.
you hear us, Tang? Can you hear us, Tang?
Yeah, can you hear? It keeps lagging.
Okay.
And then for me.
All right. Well, at least today it worked out a lot better than the first time, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to say this for folks in my group. If you guys haven't done so, I would strongly encourage you guys to um, join Angela and Tang's group. It's called Hmong Intuitive Readings, and they are a lot more active than I am as far as like giving readings. So if you guys need help, they're very nice with their time and just helping people out. So go and join that group. Um, I do want to do the cheap plug because I started this group where I call it Hmong Relationships, and I believe that as we grow spiritually, it's a relationship we have with our spirituality as well, and that has a ripple effect across our relationships. So as some of you guys may know, I did marriage and family therapy for a number of years, and so I think I know a thing or two about relationships. So if you guys want to hop on over there and join that group, it's called Hmong Relationships, and we talk about stuff that we all go through: relationships with ourselves, with our spouse, children, friends, whatever. So that's my kind of cheap plug. Do you guys got anything else to add?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, we will hang out again, I hope. This was fun. Like, even though the technical piece was working well, then it kind of went downhill a little bit. I enjoyed meeting and getting to know you guys, both of you, a lot better now, and I will send people your way if I can't help them.
Sure. Thank you for this. This was a good opportunity to keep growing.
Yeah, you're welcome. Tank, did you
Sorry, I
catch?
got disconnected.
Oh, okay. We're just saying our last goodbyes.
I just want to say thank you too for I think there's not a lot of men who are open to and that are in touch with their intuitive gifts. So I'm very grateful that you are able to be one of those people, like a man, and to be in touch with your intuitive side.
Yeah.
So thank you, and thank you for joining our group.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
collaborating with us.
Yeah, I look forward to this journey with the both of you, and I hope many others will open up and come out of the closet and help us help others. We can't do it alone, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
All right, ladies. Well, I'm gonna hit the stop recording, and then maybe we can like debrief a little bit, see how we want to do this in the future or something.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
See you, folks.
Bye, guys. Hey, hold on. Okay.
You want to say goodbye to people?
Oh, bye.
Okay.